Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute. I think a little over like a month and a half since our last video, but life's been going like 200 miles an hour in all different directions. All good things, but we're gonna kind of like fill you guys in today, and we're gonna take you guys through a shoulder workout. She has shoulders, I have shoulders. We're gonna crush it, and then afterwards we're gonna go into some detail about a lot of questions we've been getting. Why we moved to Texas, how prep's going, how the couple life during prep is going. It's a lot. So
maybe we can share a little bit too about the move, because that was a lot. I mean, driving 20 hours from Florida to Texas with 2 people, 2 cars, and 3 cats. So we can share that, share prep updates. We probably look a lot different than the last time we filmed for
I might
the
look really
couples
dark
channel.
because I just did a guest posing, so
Awesome.
we'll talk about that too.
Austin just did his guest posing this past weekend in Grand Rapids, so that was fun. But yeah, we'll hit a shoulder workout and then give you guys some updates on just life and prep and everything that's been going on.
Sweet, let's get to it.
Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. When you thought that I was done, you ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn. Feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire. Burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn. Feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, yeah. Burn it down, oh yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn. Feel me now, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay, so we just hit our shoulder workout, did some calves, I did some cardio. My cardio is much more than Austin's cardio right now.
None.
He's
Pretty
not
much.
doing any. Well, I thought you had 5 days a week.
I have 5 days a week at like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and I have an hour 7 days a week right now. So we're pushing, but it's working. So obviously we are in Texas now. We moved from Tampa, Florida to Austin, Texas about, what was it? Was it been just a week?
A week and a half.
A week and a half ago?
We like moved here and then we went to Grand Rapids, Michigan for my guest posing. That's why I'm like really dark. So if you guys saw the workout before this, which you obviously did if you're tuning in, then you know why I'm so dark is because I just guest posed. Honestly, I love the guest posing. I'm not going to get super into it because that's not really what this video is about, but it really lit a fire in me. And I'm ready to get this qualification. So we're going to come for Tampa Pro. We're going to win the whole thing, and then we're going to go in Texas. So that's what's going to happen. But yeah, we're here to kind of talk about why we moved to Austin. We've been getting an outrageous amount of questions. Obviously, we kind of expected that because it was kind of out of nowhere. For people who aren't like in the relationship, obviously, they don't understand that we've been working on this for months.
We had planned to announce it, and then I feel like at the same time, prep honestly just picked up. And we've been so busy with prep, with travel, with work, with just packing, like life stuff, everything going on that it kept getting pushed back. So now we're here. So this is kind of like, hey, we have been planning this for a while, but we did end up moving. We have a new videographer as well. Christian. I don't know if he wants to introduce himself or pop. No, you're good.
He's just the man behind the camera.
Behind the camera. But we will very much miss Nan, who was our videographer back in Tampa. Obviously, we could not bring him with us here to Texas, but we just wanted to preface that he is amazing. He is still going to be filming us for Tampa Pro for our show there.
If you guys need any videography, photography in Tampa, Orlando, he's actually based out of Orlando, but he will go to Tampa. He will go anywhere you want in Florida. Literally, he's amazing. So if you guys want anything shot, anything recorded, please reach out to Fam, whatever you want to call him.
Austin calls him Fam because his Instagram is Fam Portraits, but his name is Nan.
So Fam, Nan, whichever one, he's amazing. But yeah, I just want to give his flowers to him because he killed it with our YouTube, really getting this thing launched. So, I mean, it's been crazy, like the amount of engagement and stuff that we've had for such a short period of time and such a low amount of videos. So really grateful for him. But we wanted to talk now about why we moved to Austin, Texas, because like I said, it might seem kind of like a shock to people who aren't us.
And I wanted to say too, because there was a video, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 videos ago, where we were talking about moving, and we had said that we felt like we were just going to stay in Tampa because we felt like God was telling us it wasn't the right time to move. I feel like at that point we were looking at renting a house here, and it just wasn't working out. So we had decided like, okay, we're just going to stay in Tampa. And then the opportunity opened up at this apartment complex. So we feel like it was almost like God was telling us to wait, but then he opened that door and we were like, okay, maybe now he is telling us that it is the right time to move. So we are going to take this opportunity and just roll with it.
Yeah, so that's like her perspective on it. And I mean, I have the same perspective when it comes to like God, like totally guiding us in this decision, because obviously faith is a huge thing in our relationship. So,
hold it down a little bit so you're blocking your face.
Yeah, sorry. You guys want to see my beautiful face, but no, so basically the reality was we were trying to rush the process too fast, and it wasn't on God's timing, it was on our own timing. And we were like super spur of the moment, like we want to move to Austin. That was actually Emily's idea first, and I was like, nah babe, we just have so many opportunities here in Florida, like in Tampa especially. Derek is opening his gym, and we have MI40 there, and Matt Grego, pretty much family to us. So it's like we have this whole support system there. And it's like, why would we just up and leave this, all these friends that we have for some place we barely really even know that has people that we know in it. So the timing just wasn't right. We were trying to like look at houses and stuff because we have 3 cats. So apartment just didn't really seem realistic. But it ended up working out perfectly fine because the houses that we were looking at, just the timeline was kind of crazy. Like the first one we really liked, it was like this really beautiful house with its own property. It's like 4 bedrooms. It was like beautiful, and it just wasn't gonna work. The girl wanted us to move in within 14 days, and I'm like, we can't move with 14 days. We got to say bye to people, pack, hire a moving company. It just wasn't adding up. So we just moved on God's time. Everything worked out perfectly. We applied for like one apartment complex. It was not the one. And then we revisited the idea like a few weeks later, and we got approved, and it was perfect. And it's been amazing. We got here, and the apartment's way bigger and better than we thought it would be. So it's been amazing.
And to add to that too, we signed a lease, paid for this apartment, and we have never visited the area before, never toured the apartment. So we were just basing it off of recommendations from friends here and crossing our fingers. But the apartment is beautiful. It is in the most gorgeous area. There's walking trails. It's super green. There's a farmer's market literally down the street every Sunday.
Saturday too.
I think it's just Sunday. But yeah, it's farmer's market, and it's just such a vibe. So we got very lucky with the area we're at. I think the main reason that we moved away from Florida was just to have a place of our own. We were both very blessed with the situation we were in. My mom owned a townhouse in Tampa, so we were just kind of living there rent-free. Obviously, I mean, taking care of the house, paying the utilities, the HOA, that sort of thing.
Property tax, that was outrageous every year.
But not paying rent necessarily.
Yeah. It kind of evened out. It was a little bit less than paying rent, so it was very, very worth it for us. And it was a really good opportunity to save some money. So now we're in this situation. We're building a life of our own in a new city, and it just feels not like I don't like to say fresh start because I don't like that term. It's just like we're like evolving, and we're like moving, and we're basically just like starting a new chapter in our life together instead of
having
meeting
something that's ours too. Like we're in this new space together. Like it's our apartment. Like we're building this new. Yeah, like you said, like opening this new chapter of our lives together. So it's just really cool to be able to like do that. I feel like a lot of people don't get that opportunity maybe with their significant other, that we can just pack up everything and move to a new city and build this new life together. But
I mean, it's not easy. I mean,
yeah.
Nobody wants to work anymore. So it's like I work my ass off all the time, and so do you. So I mean, we deserve it. But it's definitely something that like is very unique because it all worked out so well. Like I thought it was gonna be honestly like a nightmare moving just because of how we haven't looked at the place before. Like I had never driven in a car with cats like for 20 hours. Like it was just a lot. So it was a very smooth move, a lot better than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
We did the trip in 2 days. We did most of the trip in 1 day. We drove about 11 or 12 hours the first day, stayed the night in Louisiana where we got eaten by bugs on a nightly walk. And then the next day we finished the drive. Cats did perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. One of our cats like had an accident in the first 30 minutes, but that's it. That's it.
But really just excited for this new chapter, just having something of our own. Also the gyms here have been amazing so far. And a big part of it too was just we have a lot of friends here that aren't bodybuilders but are still either coaches or relative to the fitness space in some way. So we're excited just to have a lot of very successful, like-minded people that we're surrounded with here.
A big thing for me is I have to feel like pressure. I have to feel pressure in life to be able to progress the way I want to. So when I'm living in a house that's my girlfriend's mom's investment property, I'm blessed, very blessed for that opportunity, but it's not pushing me to be a better person. I was still progressing very fast, like exponentially, like I call myself a business owner. I mean, I work under Reform, but I'm my own coach and I have my own brand and everything. And, I work very hard, but I'm like even more motivated now. And like, I think the travel was kind of taking that feeling away from me. And now that we're like back for like a week, a week is the longest we've been here. I get to really, find that motivation again. And I think today it's been like a huge eye opener. Like this was the right decision for us. Mm-hmm. So, just super grateful. Like I said, a lot of like-minded people here. The biggest thing for us is like not surrounding ourselves with all bodybuilders for friends, because when bodybuilding is your whole life, like it is for us, the last thing you want to do, like no offense to any of our friends, is like just always talk about bodybuilding, always have the pressure of bodybuilding. Like we want to be able to hang out with people outside of the industry who are still like fit and take care of themselves and successful, but not like chicken rice talking about lifting weights all the time. It's like we want people with like different avenues in life that we can associate ourselves with.
And just to add to that too, I feel like you can still be 110% in and still hitting every meal, doing every cardio session, doing every workout, getting all your steps in like to a T, but still have that balance in life. And I feel like it's something that's necessary when you are all in this sport. You have to have that balance and just kind of like that release, even if it's like going on a walk with a couple of friends and yeah, exactly, not talking about bodybuilding for 2 hours because our whole lives are so focused on bodybuilding that it's nice to kind of have that break here and there.
Yeah. All right. So, lastly, we wanted to talk about our relationship and some of the pros and cons. I don't really like to say cons because they're not. They're just like things we're building our relationship with. But I guess some obstacles that we've had to overcome. I can go ahead and go first if you want. So for me, I've talked about this openly on my Instagram. There's obviously, I'm open about it, but like pharmacology that comes along with, competing as a male and, as a female. I'm not going to say it doesn't affect females, but I mean, some of the male stuff is very hard mentally to kind of like wrap your head around on prep when you're in a, time crunch, when you have to train really hard for a show, when you have to do, I'm sure I'm going to have to do a lot of cardio coming up. The calories are going to get dropped. It's going to get worse. So just really like locking in my mental state and making sure our communication has been the biggest, I guess, stress point for me, because it's something that I know is like, it's not like a ticking time bomb, but I know at some point it's going to get really hard for me and it's going to get really hard for her. It's already gotten really hard for her. And it's going to need to just be either we have solid communication or we just know when to give each other that space. So that's something that we're doing a really good job at. I think the last few days we've been doing a really good job at just kind of like going, okay, that's the hunger talking, or that's like the lack of energy talking, not like you. Yeah. So that's something that I've really just tried to focus on. And then, as a couple, I think the biggest thing is making sure that we give ourselves like time together and time alone. I was actually listening to Anthony Montello and Ali Prince's podcast with Kyle Wilkes, and I believe his wife or fiance. I'm not sure if they're married yet, but I think it's his fiance. It was an amazing podcast. They talked about how they literally don't see each other all day. Like Anthony Montello and Ali Prince don't see each other all day, but then they go to the gym together and it's like the best time because they give each other the time to like do their own thing. And they know that if they're together all the time, it's just going to cause more stress. That's kind of like what we've been doing. So yeah, that's just kind of a stress point that I've been working on, is just warming myself and getting myself ready for when the stuff gets really hard and just preparing myself mentally for that.
I think that we're kind of the same but opposite. I almost feel like we spend a lot of time together outside of the gym, and then we have been doing like during our gym sessions, like you will even go to a different gym and I will go to a different gym. Like I think you've been going to Lift, I'll go to House of Gains, or even if we do go together, like once we get there, we just do our separate workouts and we don't really,
Like our relationship's going to be there at the end of the day, but like, yeah. I'm coming to get an Olympia qualification. So
like he's like, I can be, I don't know, I feel like myself, I can talk and work out and whatever, but like when Austin's in the gym, Austin is locked in, headphones on, like do not talk to me kind of vibe, which is totally fine. So I have learned to just kind of give him his space, even if I don't necessarily need the space, but it's giving him his space that allows us to continue to communicate and continue to get along and make this work while we're both very hungry, very tired, and just going through a pro prep together.
Yeah, and then I'll add one last thing onto that, and I didn't even think about this until now, but we had the most stressful beginning to our preps. Not in a bad way. Like we switched coaches, obviously. We already talked about this openly, but we both left our old coach, and we both have different coaches, so we're not coached by the same person.
I don't know if we have talked about that.
Well, now you guys know. You guys know. We left, and it wasn't on bad terms. Cameron's an amazing coach. I will always thank him, dude. He won me USA's, and he won her the overall for bikini at Junior Nats. Like, that's insane. Like, that's amazing. Like, I was diced, she was diced. We killed it, and nobody came close. It was like a landslide for both of us. So he absolutely killed it, and I recommend anybody trying to get their pro card to Cameron. But I need to be bigger, and I need to push myself, and I need the best of the best to coach me. And I'm just going to be real.
It's just different styles of coaching, and like Austin said, like it wasn't on bad terms. We both just needed a different style of coaching for the pro stage, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I know a lot of people like struggle to talk openly about switching coaches, and some people switch coaches all the time and they just don't even say anything about it. But
I was hesitant at first because I just didn't want anything bad to come back to cameras.
yeah, and sometimes, you know, like you leave a coach and it's never even on bad terms. It could very much be that like we both want to learn, we both want to continue to educate ourselves as athletes and as coaches ourselves, and sometimes you have to just try out different coaches who have different styles, because with bodybuilding the thing is too, there is no right way or even one solid way to prep someone. Every single coach has a different style or a different technique or a different way that they do things. So I think a lot of times, or at least like a big part of it, is just trying to find a coach with the style that works for you too, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is you see somebody who's with the same coach their whole career, or
And sometimes it is like that. And
yeah, and they just got lucky. Like they just got lucky. They just see eye to eye with that coach very well. Like either the coach is willing to adapt to what the client needs more, or the client is willing to just do whatever the coach says. And it's usually harder to have that happen. But for me, this is like my third or fourth coach, and it's been something where every coach has gotten progressively better and, you know, brought me to a higher point. And I know that this is probably the best decision I could have made for my professional career. So, I mean, that's kind of what's going on in our relationship and just kind of why we moved. Do you have anything to add?
No, not really. I think the last time we did a video, I was probably like, 146, 147. I think I've lost about 10 pounds since that video. So I think you're kind of in a similar boat as well.
No, I've actually gained weight. So when I started working with Stefan, I was actually down to like 242.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the first month I was working with him, I got down to 242. Transparently, because I was traveling so much and it was extremely hard for me to get all my meals in on time. So I was trying to get them in when I could. Really tried my best, but there were days where I didn't get one or two of my meals in, and it really does reflect on my weight when you're pushing food like that. So I'd say the last month I've been like just on it. Like it's crazy. Like I'm just laser focused. So it's really working. I'm really excited. And
So you're up what? How many pounds?
I was like 242 pounds a month into working with Stefan, and now I'm 247.8. Okay. So I mean, and I'm way leaner. Like I'm very close to being like a month out right now, if I really wanted to be, I think. So
Yeah, but I think that's pretty much the Prep Life Couples update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little shoulder calf cardio montage, and I guess we'll see you for the next
you want me to explain
workout
what we're gonna do
update.
for,
Yeah.
like, so
We can do that.
the way we're doing it is I'm doing my own channel as well, so you guys can go subscribe to that. But obviously, we're going to be doing the same thing on here that we've been doing, but we're just going to start picking it back up again. So every other week, we're going to be posting a video on here, or right around every other week. Obviously, Christian's schedule and our schedule probably isn't going to line up perfectly, so we're going to get it in when we can. But around 2 videos a month, spread out evenly every 2 weeks, will probably be what we're going to aim for. We're probably going to backlog some so we have some to post. And then also same thing for my channel every other week. So that way you guys have weekly content, and we'll alternate between my channel and our couples channel. So that's what we're doing.
All right, I think that's it. Peace.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.